On a glittering night when the lights of the city shimmered like secrets waiting to be spoken, the grand hall of the Blue Dragon Film Awards stood silent for a breath longer than usual. Cameras flashed, celebrities smiled, applause echoed like distant thunder, but in the middle of all that brilliance, something so small happened that it almost disappeared in the noise. Almost. Yet that fleeting moment, that quiet spark between Jun-ho and Yoon-ah would soon travel across continents like a whisper turning into a storm. At first, nothing seemed unusual. The audience glittered with stars, gowns flowing like waves of silk, tuxedos sharp as midnight shadows. Presenters walked on stage one after another. Laughter floated across the hall, and fans around the world watched the broadcast with ordinary excitement. But the camera, perhaps by accident, perhaps by fate, shifted for a brief second toward a quiet corner where two familiar figures sat not far from each other. There was applause rising in the background, yet something else happened beneath that sound. 7 seconds. That was all it took. Jun-ho turned slightly in his seat. His expression carried the calm charm fans had adored since his unforgettable role in King the Land. But this time, his gaze drifted somewhere else, not toward the stage, not toward the cameras. It drifted toward her. Across the elegant rows of stars sat Yoon-ah, glowing beneath the soft lights of the hall, her expression poised yet gentle. She seemed focused on the stage at first, yet in the smallest turn of timing, so subtle that it almost felt scripted by destiny, her eyes shifted too. And there it was. For 7 brief seconds, their eyes met. No dramatic gesture, no spoken word, just a look that seemed to carry an entire unspoken story. For ordinary viewers, it might have passed unnoticed, but the internet has become a place where even the smallest flicker becomes a wildfire. Fans who had watched their legendary chemistry in King the Land were not ordinary viewers. They were detectives of emotion, archivists of glances, and guardians of a story they believed never truly ended. Within minutes, clips of the moment began appearing online. A slowed version, then a zoomed version, then a frame-by-frame analysis. "Did you see that?" someone asked on social media. "Pause at 0:17, another replied. And suddenly the 7 seconds that once lived quietly inside the ceremony began echoing across the world. In the slowed footage, something curious appeared. Jun-ho's expression softened slightly when his gaze met hers. It was not the confident stage smile fans were used to seeing. It was something calmer, something quieter, almost like the warmth of recognition. And Yoon-ah responded with a look equally subtle, her lips curving into a faint smile before she turned her attention back to the stage. 7 seconds. Yet for millions of viewers, it felt like 7 chapters of a story that refused to close. By the next morning, entertainment forums exploded with speculation. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's everything. Fans began comparing the moment with their past interviews, their press conferences, their playful behind-the-scenes clips from King the Land. Each tiny gesture suddenly gained new meaning. Someone posted an older video of them laughing together during a press tour. Another fan shared a photo from an awards show months earlier. A pattern, some believed, was beginning to appear. The strange thing about fame is that it magnifies ordinary human moments until they look extraordinary. A glance becomes a mystery. A smile becomes a theory. And for 2 stars as beloved as Jun-ho and Yoon-ah, even silence becomes a conversation. But what made the 7 seconds truly unforgettable was not simply the look. It was the history behind it. Their collaboration in King the Land had already created one of the most adored on-screen couples in recent K-drama history. Their characters fell in love in a story filled with warmth, humor, and emotional depth. The chemistry felt so natural that viewers around the world wondered if the emotions extended beyond the script. Both stars addressed rumors in the past with grace and professionalism. Agencies clarified that they shared a friendly working relationship, nothing more. Yet the fascination never disappeared. And nights like the one at the Blue Dragon Film Awards only reignited the curiosity. As the ceremony continued, neither actor made any dramatic move. They applauded for winners, smiled for cameras, and spoke with fellow celebrities, just like everyone else in the hall. Yet fans watching from home could not forget those 7 seconds. By evening, reaction videos appeared across YouTube. Comment sections filled with thousands of messages. Did anyone else notice the way they looked at each other? That didn't look like acting. Some stories never really end. Even entertainment reporters began discussing the moment. Was it simply two colleagues acknowledging each other during a crowded ceremony? Or was it a quiet reflection of a bond formed during months of filming and promotion? No one could answer the question with certainty. And perhaps that uncertainty is exactly why the moment captured the imagination of so many people. In a world where everything moves quickly, where trends rise and fall within hours, some stories linger because they feel unfinished. The story of Jun-ho and Yoon-ah has become one of those stories. Not because of dramatic headlines, not because of confirmed romance, but because of moments that feel quietly genuine. 7 seconds in a crowded award show hall. 7 seconds that reminded fans of the magic they once saw on screen. 7 seconds that turned into millions of views, countless theories, and endless curiosity. As the lights dimmed and the ceremony came to an end, both stars left the venue surrounded by flashing cameras and cheering fans. Neither commented on the viral moment. Neither confirmed nor denied the interpretations spreading across the internet. The silence remained. Yet sometimes silence tells the most interesting stories. Somewhere inside that quiet hall where applause had faded and lights had dimmed, the echo of those 7 seconds remained, a fleeting glance that somehow carried the weight of an entire narrative. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe it was simply two friends sharing a polite acknowledgement across a room. Or maybe, just maybe, it was a reminder that some connections cannot be fully explained, only quietly observed. And that is why the world is still watching. Because sometimes the most powerful stories are not written in words. They are written in moments.